I'm Abigail Zorrilla. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I go to Gordon College studying biology with a concentration in environmental science. My research project was under Dr. Woodley's lab in the crop and soil science department, and so I was looking at getting soil samples at the Cherry Research Farm in Goldsboro, North Carolina, and comparing the different farming treatments and how that has affected the soil health. I've learned a lot about food and agriculture in North Carolina. I'm not from North Carolina, but I learned that there's a lot of poultry and hog production, and that there's also a lot of small farmers are kind of struggling to, either get started or keep their farms running because there's a lot of farms being consolidated. I wanted to this summer I wanted to do something involved with research, and so I've always been interested in sustainable agriculture, and so I was just my professor sent out this huge email with different opportunities for the summer, and I saw that SEFS was one of them, and that it was had a lot of stuff with the sustainable agriculture and professional development. But then also you get to do your own research, and it was paid, which is another benefit. And so I really wanted to be able to have the opportunity to do my own little research project, get connected with some people in academia, while also learning about food systems in the southern United States. This internship was a great taste of what grad school can look like and doing your own research. Because I've always said I wanted to go to grad school, but I've never actually had a little taste of what it would actually be like. And so being able to conduct my own research and have my own little project was very helpful. And I've also done help with some research, but it's been more in the field. So getting some more lab experience was very helpful and made me learn that it is interesting, but I do kind of like the field work a little bit more. And then also just learning about all the different career opportunities in agriculture and hearing about different people's journeys and how they got to the job that they are now and all the different possibilities is really got me excited for my future. Yeah. On one career-wise, I think doing research and continuing to see how, especially with climate change and urbanization, how as our habitats are changing and environment is changing, how is that going to impact food production? And then also as a consumer and just a responsible citizen, I think educating others on the food system and issues that farmers are facing, and trying to eat less meat and shop more locally and be an advocate for small farmers wherever I'm living. I think that's going to be my role in the food system. This opportunity has definitely gotten me to see a lot of different opportunities in ag. Talking to small farmers and hearing how they got connected or how they got started, or even learning about all the different grants involved with either farm work and all the different nonprofits. But then also we got to tour a soil science lab from the U.S. government, and just seeing all these. There's a lot of government jobs, but there's a lot of nonprofit jobs too. Definitely opened my eyes. My favorite part of the internship was the farm tours that we did. We spent a couple days visiting different farms across the state and just seeing the different ways that farmers run their farms or their operations, and also learning we got to go to a meat processing plant or a grocery store distribution center, and just seeing all the different moving parts of the food system, and then also actually connecting with farmers and hearing their concerns or struggles that they're facing really opened my eyes and made me also connect what I'm researching and see how that could be applied to real people's lives. So the role of agroecology with challenges in agriculture, well, I think as climate change is continuing to affect farmers, especially in the South, it's going to continue to worsen. And so I think taking more of an ecological approach to farming and just seeing if my field is next to another field that's using a lot of chemicals, that's going to impact my crops. And just how is this, my field being next to a forest is now turning into a neighborhood, how's that going to affect my food? I think having more of an open mindset to farming is going to be really important. And so my research looked a lot at with soil health and carbon content, and in my lab they're doing a lot with CO2 and greenhouse gases, and how soil can actually kind of take some of that greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere and into the soil so that plants can use it. So I think that's kind of how my research applies to that. Long-term farming experiments are really important because one, it's just a way to get data and just have baseline data and just consistent data throughout the years to see maybe in year 5 of the experiment there was a hurricane that impacted it, or maybe there was a drought this one summer, and just to see just to get data for trends is important, and also just to see as new technologies develop and stuff, like you can compare that to like the methods that farmers have been using for years, and that's kind of why like long-term farms are important. I would definitely recommend this internship to other students, especially students who are either interested in agriculture or just want to get hands-on experience in research. This is just a great way that combines both like professional development and learning about the food system in general, but also getting one-on-one mentorship and like experience that you can put on your resume. And just like I learned a lot of lab skills and hard skills, but I also learned a lot of like soft skills like interpersonal work and like team building and stuff like that. So yeah, the things that appealed to me this internship was first being able to do some research, but then also like watching the video from last year. They said like the different like farms I got to visit and the different like people that they got to connect with. So I think also like the personal connections that you would be able to make in this internship, that's what drew me in.